Hello. Are you ready to finish a book today or what? Oh, I am so ready for this. I'm so ready to participate in another graduation of another great book. I am thrilled to be with you today, and I'm really, really excited to finish a book. Anyway, I want to say hello. I want to welcome everybody who is peeking in on our readings, not while we're doing our readings. I need to start there because I see you out there. I can see you. In fact, I've been paying attention to the fact that you're out there. And it has been such a privilege to read with those of you who are unable to make it while we do our actual reading, but are watching it on your own at a different time. So I'm very, very grateful that you're here. I just wish I knew who you were, because I get to see that people show up, but I don't get to see who. So anyway, without further ado, today I want to get your finality. I want to get Minli's finality. I want to find out what happens with Dragon. I want to know if the old man of the moon or old man of the mountain is going to like show up again, or if that was the only time that we're actually going to see. We didn't even get to see her say goodbye. All we got was the fact that she was asking questions. Wow. I'm tired today. It was a good day. It's been a big day. So anyway, we just didn't get to find out if there was any real goodbye with them. So Gargoyle and myself are a little wondering about that, but we have a brand new book. Well, a brand new, almost finished book. And I guess we'll get that started right now. So as you are aware, today, the plan will be to savor the fact that we are on chapter 47. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly where the end of this is, but, oh my goodness, I'm tired today. I am going to say to you that Minli's home. Minli is home. She returned home and just went to sleep, didn't bother her parents. Talk about respect. So this is where we left yesterday. Tiptoeing, she put her bag and the dragon's stone on the table and went into her room. Smiling, she climbed into her bed and went to sleep. Here we go. Well, I think you have a pretty good idea of who that is. Yeah, look at Minli, Minli. Those are the first two words, ma and ba. Oh my gosh, okay. How would your family feel if you had disappeared, left a note, and went out in search of greater fortune for your family? Not knowing where you were, not knowing where you went, not knowing when you would be home, and now you're home. That's how grateful I am. Yeah, like when I see you, when you come back and you listen, it's super great. So anyway, let's get going. All right, chapter 47. Minli? Minli? Wow. Minli, Minli. Ma and Ba's happiness burst from them like exploding firecrackers. And even before she could open her eyes, they had flung themselves upon her. The joy. Her eyes. Oh, wait. The joy. How it flowed and flooded over her. More golden than the king's dragon bracelet. Sweeter than a peach from the queen mother's garden. And more beautiful than a goddess of heaven. Minli smiled, treasuring her good fortune. Ma and Ba only stopped hugging her when Her stomach began to grumble with hunger. Ma rushed to make a special breakfast, taking out the carefully saved dry pork to make Minli's favorite porridge, while Ba jumped to get some fresh water to make tea. But when Ba went to the main room, he made a choking noise that caused Minli and Ma to come running. "What is that?" he said, pointing. Minli followed his finger and saw him pointing at her traveling possessions on the table. The fish swam merrily around its bowl as the silk of her brocade bag made the sunlight skip around the room. "That is a bag given to me by the king of the city of bright moonlight," Minli said. "It is very fine, isn't it?" "Not that," Ba said, waving the bag away. "That!" And now Minli saw that he was pointing to a dragon's stone ball. "It's just a gift from a friend," Minli said, handing it to her father. Ba took it in his hands reverently. A look of awe was upon his face. "This is not just any gift," Ba whispered, and he took his sleeve and gently rubbed the surface of the stone. To Minli's great surprise, the grayness of the stone began to smudge away and a translucent, lustrous glow seemed to shine through. "This is a dragon's pearl." Minli and Ma stared. "A dragon's pearl?" Ma said slowly. "A dragon's pearl?" Ma said slowly. She sat down and looked at Minli. "A dragon's pearl is worth the emperor's entire fortune." Minli opened her mouth, but before any words could come out, there was a great shouting and clamoring outside on the street. Ba quickly, but carefully, put the dragon pearl back on the table before they all hurried out to see what the uproar was all about. "What is it?" Ma asked, grabbing a neighbor. The entire village had flowed into the street, talking and shouting like a flock of birds discovering a feast. "What's happening?" "It's Fruitless Mountain," the neighbor said. "Fruitless Mountain has turned green." "What?" Ba said. "It's true. It's true." Another neighbor chimed in. "Fruitless Mountain is no longer fruitless, and the Jade River is clear and fresh, too." Minli, Ma, and Ba looked at the mountain. It was true. Fruitless Mountain was no longer a black shadow above them. As the day dawned, the mountain had transformed. A green lushness seemed to bloom from the rock. A jewel-colored splendor softened the sharp edges that had painfully sliced the sky. The sky itself to be seemingly embracing the mountain. The wind softly caressed the newborn greenery with a nurturing breeze and skimmed the Jade River. The water now as clear as tears of joy. "How is that possible?" Ma asked. "Jade Dragon must be happy again," Ba said. "Perhaps she has returned with the one of her dragon children." "Dragon," squiggle letters, Minli thought. And her quick-thinking mind seemed to spin. Dragon said he was making his home on Fruitless Mountain. Could he be one of Jade Dragon's children? But how? Dragon was born from a painting, from paintbrushes and inkstones. And like an echo, Minli remembered Ma talking about the artist who had come to Fruitless Mountain many years ago. He took the mountain rock to carve into inking stone. Remember that? That was like the first chapter. Perhaps Dragon was born from an inkstone made of Fruitless Mountain, the heart of Jade Dragon. Then perhaps he was one of Jade Dragon's children, and by bringing him to Fruitless Mountain, Minli had discovered how to make Fruitless Mountain green again. "Minli!" A villager finally recovered from the shock of the Green Mountain, staring at her. "You came back. Look, everyone, Minli has returned." As the neighbors clamored around, Ma sighed, but it was a sigh of joy, a sound of happiness that floated like a butterfly into the air. Good fortune has come to the village, Ma said, smiling, and to the family as well. Yes, Ba said, looking affectionately at Minli, but the best fortune is the one that returned. Minli smiled back, and suddenly, as she thought about her journey to and from Never-Ending Mountain, Minli realized that while she had not asked the old man of the moon any of her questions, they had all been answered. Do you remember what that is? Do you recall? Chapter 48. The goldfish man shaded his eyes as he pushed his cart along the Jade River. Hold on a second. How fast do you think I can get there? Can I get there? Oh my gosh. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the picture almost exactly, except for one really important thing. The last time we saw this was at the beginning of chapter 12. Oh, really? See? Ha 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 ha. Empty. Let me start that over. The goldfish man shaded his eyes as he pushed his cart along the Jade River. Yes, he was almost there. How long had it been? 2 years? Perhaps 3? Yes, the poor village of Fruitless Mountain should be ahead soon, he thought. Squiggle writing. But possibly he was mistaken. When he had been there last, the most striking characteristic of the landscape had been the Black Mountain, its shadow casting gloom upon the village. But there was no dark silhouette in the sky now. The landscape looked as if it were from a heavenly painting. A majestic green mountain sat in harmony with the deepening blue sky. The sun spreading its light for the last time right before it set. He had taken a wrong turn somewhere, he thought. As he gazed, 2 flying figures in the sky caught his eye. One red, one orange. A dragon and his mate frolicking amongst the clouds. Wait, dragons? The goldfish man shook his head in disbelief, rubbed his eyes, and looked up again. Only the dimming sky and feathery clouds fanning the wind were above. I must have been imagining, he thought. The goldfish man pushed onward. The water in the fish bowls rippled and waved as the fish gazed calmly. The brilliant colors against the abundant green land glinted like gold and jade. As he entered the village, the goldfish man began to doubt if he was in the right place. Smooth stone lined the roadway, and instead of the rough boarded houses, he remembered rich wooden doors, some elaborately carved, lined the streets. As he pushed his cart down the narrow street, lively children dressed in gay colors flew toward him like a festival of silk kites. Goldfish! Goldfish! I thought that was going to be the goldfish man. Goldfish! Goldfish! They cried. Ma! Ba! Can we get one? Parents walked over and smiled indulgently at their children. And by the time the sun disappeared, the goldfish man had sold out of his wares. Clearly, this was not the same poor village he had come to before, where only that one girl purchased a fish. But then he remembered hearing a story of how a family that lived by the Jade River had given the king of the city of bright moonlight the incredible gift of a dragon pearl, refusing any payment. In gratitude, the king presented the entire village with gifts of seeds and farming equipment that brought more prosperity than any reward of gold and jade. Maybe this was the place. "Little one," the goldfish man asked a young girl dressed in a peony pink silk jacket and leaf green pantaloons. "The last time I was here, the last time I came to the village of Fruitless Mountain, a child ran away from home. What happened to her?" "Ran away from here?" The girl looked at him in disbelief, as if the idea was foreign. Then she nodded. "Oh, you must mean Minli. That's when this used to be called the village of Fruitless Mountain. Now it's called the village of Fruitful Mountain." "Yes, Minli," the goldfish man said. "I think that was her name. What happened to her?" "She and her family live over there." The girl waved her arm. "They built a courtyard in front and in back of their house. It's behind the gate with the pictures of the lucky children on the door." Pictures of the lucky children on the door. I think that this is the right time that I might show you this picture. "Oh, you mean Minli. That was when this place used to be called Fruitless Mountain. Now we're called Fruitful Village. Now, look at this. The picture of two joyful children. Do they look familiar to you? Do they? The goldfish man wheeled his empty cart to the indicated gate. On each half of the crimson door hung a painting of a round-faced, laughing child dressed in brilliant red. Their pink cheeks and merry smiles made it impossible not to smile back. And as he grasped one of the metal door knockers shaped like a grinning lion head, he realized that the painting on the left was of a girl and the one on the right was a boy. Lions' heads? Remember those? The door flew open as soon as he knocked, and the goldfish man was face to face with a woman he scarcely recognized. He recognized her even less when she threw her arm around him like an old friend. "You," she said to him, her face wrinkling in cheerful smiles. Come in. My husband will be happy to see you." The goldfish man, speechless with surprise, let himself be led through the gate doors. Was this the mother with angry eyes he had met in the woods so long ago? Yes, this pleasant-faced woman, her plum-colored coat embroidered with flowering trees, was the same person. He shook his head in disbelief. As he glanced upward, he realized the courtyard was like a well for the sky. The stars and night seemed to flow into it endlessly. Squiggle writing. Was this the courtyard built just for that purpose? He wondered. Light from the house streamed through the lattice patterned doors, illuminating the enclosure like a lit lantern. There the father was surrounded by visiting children, whom the goldfish man recognized as his earlier customers. Some of the children were playing on the ground with clay toys of boys, buffalo, monkeys, and rabbits, while others were being served tea by the father. "This tea is a gift from our faraway friends," the father was saying as he handed a child a cup. "They call it Dragon Well." "Husband," the woman called. "Husband, look who's arrived." As he caught sight of the goldfish man, the father stopped in mid-sentence, and his face broke into a wide smile. "Ah," he cried, "dear friend." And like the mother, before letting him bow politely, the father embraced him warmly. "Come," The father said, "Have some tea. My wife will bring out some cakes and snacks." The goldfish man finally found his voice. "I am glad to see you and your wife so happy and prosperous," he said. "I can only stop to see if last time we met, how is your daughter, Minli?" The father said, laughing, waving his hand toward the house. "She's in the back. She will be happy to see you too, but she will come out later. This is the time of night she likes to watch the moon." "She returned then?" the goldfish man asked. "I thought she would. What happened?" "Ah, my friend," Ba laughed again. "You have come at the right time. Why do you think these children are here? They have come, and they come every night because they want to hear the story again. The story of Minli's journey to and from Never-Ending Mountain. Come, sit. You can hear it for the very first time." The goldfish man sat down willingly on a stone seat and found a fragrant cup of tea in his hand. The children clamored around Ba, each more excited than the last and eager for the story to begin. But as Ma went inside the house to get refreshments, she left the door wide open, and the goldfish man could not help peering in. He could see all the way through the house to the back courtyard, where the figure of a young girl sat on a bench, a small pond of fish at her feet. The moonlight washed over everything like a rich bath of gold and silver, making the fish shimmer like pearls and the girl glow with a magical glory reserved for the stars of heaven. But Minli was obviously unaware of all around her, lost in faraway dreams. For even in the misty light, the goldfish man could see her smiling a secret smile up to the sky where the mountain meets the moon. Do you see them all? Do you see everything? Look close. You can pause it if you need to. What do you see? Don't just look at the picture, even though the picture is what you're supposed to look at. But look around. I don't think I need to say much more. That's the end of the story. I will say that I really want you to see whether or not this is a book worth buying for yourself. A book that potentially, if you haven't had one yet, or if you haven't purchased one yet, that you go and find Grace Lynn's book, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. Now, I will tell you that there is another book that follows this one. And I believe there's another book that follows that one. And I'm not going to read those to you. I am going to read them for myself. I'm going to let you know that there are some more stories. And I will also tell you that Grace Lynn last year also wrote a book about a very important character that so many of us have probably heard of, thanks to a movie done by a certain company that happens to have a television show channel and also a couple really, really big amusement parks with some characters like Mickey Mouse and things like that. But this is a story about an Asian female warrior. You may know her as Mulan. I'm going to let you know that Grace Lynn has not only written stories that follow this one, and if you read those stories, you're going to wonder why and how they connect to this one to begin with. But I will let you know that there is, and there are, lots of people who will come back to visit within the story itself. So what I'm going to share with you is there needs to be no other statement other than You finished another book. Congratulations. We have finished another book. Oh, that one makes me feel good. I love that it closed with the Goldfish Man. I love to see that the village is better, that the Goldfish Man's cart can be empty because life has changed. I love that we didn't hear from Minli. I thought for sure that we were all going to run down to the river and see Dragon with the villagers. But obviously, the dragons just fly over and spend time on Fruitless Mountain. What a great story. Was the goldfish the gold orange dragon? I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but I'm super intrigued to find out. Remember, that fish believed that if it could make it to the top of the last river, that it would find its way home and become something else. I wonder how you will find that adventure. I wonder where that adventure will take you. But I do want to say that it means so much to me that I get to read stories, because kind of like Ba, I like telling stories. I like being a part of that. And I think I do an okay job, right? So this is an opportunity for us to announce that I received a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book with a whole bunch of stories inside it. And I've been waiting to crack it open. And I'm going to let you know that it comes from a native tribe from the area that we today call Montana. The tribe's name is the Blackfeet. And I'm going to let you know more about that when I begin reading tomorrow. Did you notice how I was yawning at the beginning of this reading? And I want to tell you that I had a really long day. The 46th President of the United States was sworn in today. Joseph R. Biden was sworn in today. Remember 2 weeks ago when we were reading Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, and there was that attack on the United States Capitol? 2 weeks later, the new president of the United States, and the brand new vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris, our first female vice president, sorry, maybe. Our first woman of color, our first woman of Southeastern Indian descent is now my vice president. I'm going to keep my eyes on them because I want to know how they do. I'm going to pay attention because it's important as an American to do that. But I want to share with you that things change. I was crying 2 weeks ago. Today I'm smiling. And I'm exhausted. So you know what I'm going to do after reading a really good book with a bunch of really good friends of mine? I'm going to go relax for a little while. I'm going to breathe it in. I'm going to go maybe take a walk and go out and live. I'm going to go out and find my fruitless mountain and see how I might make a change. I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for not giving up hope that we could cross a red bridge and come back safely and have answers that seem to be selfless, but help us in the long run. Go hug somebody and let them know how much you love them and how grateful you are to have a place that's safe. If your place isn't safe right now, speak up. Find your dragon. Find a person who can help you so that you can know what that feels like. Don't be afraid. But until then, things sometimes take a little while to iron themselves out. And along the while, remember that you can come every day, Monday through Friday, and visit from 4 to 4:30 approximately, or from 4:15 to 4:45, approximately. And know that you have a story waiting to be told. I love you and thank you. And I feel so good right now. Um, I'm so grateful for your time. Have a great day and be safe. Get out of here.